stop. No, keep going. No kidding. Because I'm corny like that. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year from the B Mix. Happy New Year from BeExposedRadio.com. Welcome or welcome back. I missed y'all a little bit. Not too much. It was just last week, but it was also last year. Y'all get it? I haven't seen you since last year. All right, I'm gonna stop being corny. Because I'm ready to jump right on into some things. But for the refresher, right? It's a new year. So, new year, same us. Okay. We don't need to switch it up. Not here on the B Mix. No, we don't. Okay. Because, right here on the B Mix is for everybody. The unseen, the unheard, the forgotten. Okay. Whether it be the forgotten part of you or for the person that just doesn't belong anywhere. The me. So welcome. What do we do here on the B Mix? It's for all raw material, authentic, okay, and organic. So let's get into this week, y'all. What's going on? Let's do a little check. I'm not gonna linger here long, but I'm gonna give y'all a little minute. We're gonna linger for a second. I'm gonna go ahead and repost the show on my page. Just I'm gonna give y'all a little second. Come on in. Come on in. Let's see. Hold on. Let's tell y'all Happy New Year. I think that's what we're gonna do. Did I say that last year? I think that's what I did. I said that last week. Okay, boom. Here y'all go. Boom. Y'all on here. Okay, so now that we're all together, where do y'all want to start? Y'all know we got some things to talk about tonight. We got some things we need to address. Y'all gonna forgive me. Y'all gonna keep seeing a pop on my forehead and then a pop out, pop in and pop out. That's just what she's doing today. Okay, go ahead and just let boss have her thing. Have her way today because that's how she feel. I'm gonna try not to yell today. Okay, I'm gonna try not to yell. I'm gonna tell you why I feel like I might get to a yelling place. Let me not start. Let me not start with that. Y'all, there we go. That's a better tone, right? That's a better tone. That's more receptive. Y'all, please stop acting surprised. Okay, can we stop? Oh my God, let me go back some more. Please stop posting and saying that you're upset about what all took place. What took place? You mean them monkeys, them thugs that stormed the Capitol? Let's pause for a second. Here's your B tip of the week, of the year. That's CAPITOL, okay? It's been tearing y'all up, okay? I'm about sick of y'all. I'm about sick of y'all. Usually I say us, so I'm upset when I say y'all. Again, it's CAPITOL, capital, okay? Your nation's capital is what was overthrown for momentarily on the evening, okay? The afternoon, the noon, okay? Calm down, okay? Stop being all upset about it. What you upset for? Let me go back. Let me give you a minute because this is an open space. Okay, I want to hear it. I want you to tell me what are you so upset for. Let's talk about it. Like let's dissect it. Let's figure it out because I don't get it. I don't get why you're so upset. I don't get why any of us. How many more? I don't know how. Okay, kinfolk. I don't get why we're so upset. I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't. I've seen plenty of us, post, it's not our fight. Don't y'all go storming over in DC and things like that. Okay, I can respect it. Okay. I can take it. It's cute. All I'm saying is, and y'all know I'm big on emotion, right? I'm big on feeling how you feel. You are free to do that. If you are not free for anything else, you are free to feel how you feel, at least here. On the B Mix because you can feel some crazy kind of way out there and get shot, or you could not feel anything, get shot. So that's by anybody. So please, but okay, I need you to understand that feel wisely. B tip of the week. Feel wisely. Okay. Do not waste your energy on feeling so upset. I like literally in my brain, I don't understand why you're so upset. I don't get it, right? To the extent of what I felt like, as far as like on an uneasy side, I'll explain. So one, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. It's like we knew it was coming. So I don't, that's why I don't understand the upsetness, okay? The upsetity. Like I'm making up words. Like what? I don't get it. Y'all got to explain it to me. You got to help me out here. I don't understand the upsetness, okay? Because being upset usually comes with some sense of or moment of like shock, right? Or you're surprised, like oh, you're taken aback. Is it because we feel like this behavior is above them? Y'all not telling me that. Not in 2021. To hell, y'all not telling me that. Y'all are not telling me that y'all feel like why people, okay, were too good to ever act like this. Let's go back. Y'all not telling me that Trump supporters were too good to act like this. Y'all not telling me that MAGA country, okay, were too good to act like this. Y'all not telling me that. Y'all not telling me that y'all can. I'm yelling. Y'all, I'm trying today. I'm trying. Okay, I'm really trying. Y'all are not telling me. There we go. Some more receptive tone. Y'all are not telling me, okay, why people like, okay. And if y'all need me to spell it out, I'll spell it out. Okay. Listen, y'all are not telling me that y'all, because I'm saying y'all now, because ain't no way. I'm not there with y'all on this one here. Ain't no way that y'all are telling me that y'all can fathom the thought of us protesting, even rioting, because I'm gonna go into this. I don't even know if I mentioned it at all, but let's go back to at least here in Baltimore, right? So the riots that happened around, after Freddie Gray, unfortunate, like just fiasco, right? Rest in peace to Freddie Gray. Let's pause. Justice for Breonna Taylor. Mm-hmm. That's it. Y'all are not telling me that y'all can stomach, because we know that at least here, we're not even gonna talk about, because that got, that made the national news. I guess, I don't know, it was international, but definitely the national news, right? The riots and all that happened here. I literally came out of the house. I was hanging with my brother, and we came out of his house, and you could see down just some blocks, but whatever, like down a ways of where something was on fire. I think that was like the senior citizen home, some old building. Just, we could see some of it, right? We knew it, right? The curfew that we were under and all the restrictions and yada, yada, yada. And there was so much controversy just within the city alone, right? So it was split. It was a lot of like the older generation of, what those kids, and they didn't need to be doing this and da da da. Then there were the younger generation, and just others, right? So then you have a mix of races and things, of just different opinions, different perspectives, a lot of negative opinion about it. Okay, right? You got the right to feel how you want to feel. Okay, here's my take. I always, and I really hope there's somewhere, but I don't really care if y'all have evidence or not. I've always said this and still stand firm on it. I was not against it. I did not participate in it. Even the looting, y'all, because y'all got some good sale, baby. If you were not still living off the money that y'all made off of looting during the Freddie Gray riots, baby, y'all needed to stack that money up, because y'all made out. You hear me? I'm talking, y'all got liquors, y'all got hair, tennis shoes. I'm not mad. Moving on. I'm out of my business. I may or may not have only participated in sipping on some of the liquor, because my brother, they got like a good guy. The point is, I did, I saw y'all that was doing things, I was selling it. I don't know what I always live by. Put this on my tombstone. I never knocked nobody's hustle. She never knocked the hustle. May not have hustled the same way, but I ain't gonna knock it. If it ain't for me, it just ain't for me. If it's your hustle, it's your hustle. Okay, that's respect on respect. Period. So y'all need to tell me that y'all can stomach and fathom us doing all of that. And I'm just talking about home. So very local, very domestic. And then a little further out. So then we have just in other states and all of that, just across the nation, of different riots, different protests, peaceful and non, right? The looting, so looting, riots, protesting and all. Y'all can see us doing that. But y'all are so taken aback by the white people. doing that? And it's not for a good cause? Y'all upset about that? Come on, y'all. Please shut up. Please shut up, shut up, shut up. Like, don't say it no more. Don't. Just give me a hand. Like, don't let me hear it no more. I'm like sick of it. Like, I can't believe that y'all would let it ruffle your feathers so much. So let me say why. So when we were in, it was at the summer, right? So especially around, I mean, we're just back to back to back. We seeing videos and hearing of, they taking us down in the streets. We are hurt. Y'all know I'm a feeler. So I went through different emotions and all that. And I shared it with some of y'all, or like shared some of the emotions with y'all, right? Of just how, it just makes you like feel like, just so that I'll admit that when I just said a few moments ago that the only uneasy feeling that I felt about this was that, you just feel like kind of, vulnerable. Like, I'm a single mother, right? So just in a whole house, me, the baby, and the cat, like, just, so you feel like, oh Lord, okay, if any of this getting a little closer, because we are in Maryland, okay, not Maryland, we're in Maryland, okay, it's right there, boom. Here go DC, here go Maryland. Okay, it's right there. It's right up on the nape of the neck. Is that what that's called? I don't know. It's right there though. Y'all know I'm not good at anatomy, so mind your business. Okay, if you judging me, but that that was my only uneasy feeling. So then, like I said, to rewind, to go back to around the summer and just hell all throughout 2020 at the least, if alone, just talk about 2020. We ain't even talking about years past leading up to generations, but we ain't got to go and all that, right? We got a good idea of where we came from, what we're still dealing with. Okay. It got to be so much. It was devastating, just back to back to back, watching them slaughter us in broad daylight, watching them slaughter us in the middle of the street, watching them slaughter us at the, eyewitness of so many individuals that look like us and the non, like just, they slaughtered us back to back to back to back. Countless, evidentiary, videos and support and so much, right? You mean to tell me these same animals, because back then, the only thing we were able to, I don't know, that made us feel, but I don't even know if there was a feel good, feel better thing out of it, beside it needs to be televised. Because we know the same racism, right? The same racism that has been going on for, how long can we think about it, right? Is still going on now. It's just more televised. There's just, they can actually see themselves in the reflection. That's the difference now. Okay. And so that's the good out of it, because, I always have to find something good out of everything. That, as unfortunate as each of those incidents have been, is that now it woke it was somewhere for somebody, it was something for them to be able to visualize. Because believe it or not, a lot of them, and them is pretty broad, not just the white people, but other individuals, even some of us, some of us skin folk that ain't necessarily kinfolk, okay, needed to see that this actually happens, that we're not just talking about it. So when we show up to a meeting, and it's nothing but white people at the table, and I might be a little off that day, or you might, be a little like uneasy, and they can't even understand why. It's the dynamic of just walking in the room alone. Like, they can't understand that the way I always put it is that they just cannot connect the dots. These videos and this evidence of what they do and who they really are is helping them to connect the dots. Here's a news flash, bing, 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 bing. We do not need them to acknowledge that they're beginning to connect the dots, or that they're at least recognizing the dots, or how you do a puzzle and you dump out all the pieces, right? Just that part. That's where they are. The videos have forced them to open the box and dump the pieces out. That's it. So the pieces are now out on the table. You got to, if you're a good puzzle putter together, okay, and that is a real title, because that's what I am. I'm a good puzzle putter together. Is it a together? I'm a good puzzle putter together. Okay, a puzzle together putter. I'm wearing my title. Okay, however it goes. Okay, and so. It's steps, it's levels, right? So boom, you got to get the box, you got You got to select the puzzle. The puzzle has already been selected for you, why people, okay? Because y'all selected this puzzle, okay? Y'all selected this course. Y'all chose section B for Black. Y'all chose to pick on us, okay? Okay, whatever, right? So boom, we already passed that. We already went to the store. We done purchased it. Actually, for them, they stole it. So they stole this puzzle and want to complain that it's, too many pieces to put together and it's difficult. I said I was going to be good today, and I'm going to be. Moving on. So boom, as a good, a professional puzzle putter together that I am, walk y'all through the steps. You got your puzzle, you got to your good place, boom, you cleared your area, okay, table, floor, whatever, your choice. You dump out your pieces, boom. Now what you want to do is you want to set that box up good here so you can, so you can see that thing, okay? You want to be able to see that picture real good. That's vision. Come on, talk somebody. That's vision. Here, all right now, all right, okay. I'm going to move on from that. You want to have a vision. Why, people? What's your vision? Huh? I didn't hear anything either, y'all. So I just wanted to make sure. Ain't no vision. Hence why we can't even compare, not even dare compare what happened yesterday to anything that we have done or will do or are doing. Like that, it does not compare. We have vision. Okay, the provision, we got to work on that. We got to put ourselves in alignment to be able to accept that provision to the vision, because it's important. Then we got to work on make sure our mission. Remember, we talked about this a minute ago. I said we got to get to we are going to get to a place. I'm not saying I prophesied nothing. On back. Don't put that on me. But what I did say is that we needed to get to a place where we were breaking down exactly what it is that our demands are, because we would get to a place where we're at the table and can make our demands. By the time we work through the process of being able to make these demands, we probably get to the point of being like, you know what? I don't want nothing. I don't want shit from y'all. Go on about your business. But we got to get there. We got to keep working through the process, because apparently we're not frustrated enough yet. I might go back to that, y'all. I'm yelling. Back to my puzzle, okay? Because puzzles make me happy. Probably gonna put a few together tonight. I got a whole bunch to do, but I'm gonna figure out a puzzle in this one. Anyway, you're gonna put your picture up, okay? You're gonna make your vision, okay? Now all your pieces, what you want to do to all your pieces, no matter if it is a 4-piece puzzle or a 4,000-piece puzzle. I don't know if they make those, but we just follow me. You want to flip these things on over here. You want to be able to see the colored side. You know, it's my favorite. Okay. Out of all the things I didn't call this, I'll take colored. I ain't lying. I'm going to keep saying that now. I know some of y'all going to think I'm ignorant for it, but that's just what it's going to be. Okay. Color. I like it. It's so inclusive. Color. You're not a Y people, you're a color. That's it. That's all that needs to be on all. Can we trash all the forms? Can we just do that? Because the only box I want to be able to click on, don't ask me if I'm Latino or not, I'm sorry. They say Hispanic or not. Don't ask me that. Just ask me if I'm white people or colored. What I'm checking. Colored, proudly. Now, that's it. That just split right down the middle. That's all we need to know, because that's where it is, right? You got your yellows. And your burnt yellows, I don't know, canaries, I don't know, whatever. You got those in there somewhere, You got your browns and your blacks, okay? I don't want to say orange, because that's really associated with y'all's exiting president and y'all's president, but orange folk, I digress. What you have, okay? So listen. All I want to be able to select is why people are colored, because all these other folks all up in there, they colored. You color in the lines, they color. So you want to flip your pieces over to see your colored side, okay? You don't want to see that side, you want to see this side. And you want to be able to spread them out. You want some working room. You got to work all the room that you have, because that is showing and proving to yourself that you have that you are aware of your space, right? Your working space. Okay. So you want to make sense of it. Now you also obviously want to leave some working room. So you have your working space, but then you have your room, like it's just boom. That's where you putting that puzzle together. Got your pieces all around there. Now, the most important thing, baby, is that you want to build the borders. Okay. You want to get all your straight edge pieces, because anything that's straight and clear and concise and precise, that's going to bring you some structure. I promise you why people are not breaking it down like this. They're not worried about putting that puzzle together. The sociological puzzle, the economical puzzle. Okay. They're not worried about none of this. Okay. We need to be very clear about the puzzle that they're putting together, that they just stole it and then they saw, oh my God, it's horrid. I don't know. And here it is. We just like, all right, well, give me the puzzle. Shoot, I figured it out. Never quit. Okay. Hand me the puzzle. We're going to make the best of it. Okay. Now you build your structure and then you start to fill it in. Always making reference to the vision. Always. Never losing sight of the vision. Put that puzzle together and put it together correctly. You want to probably start, and I mean, of course, you can't just start putting pieces in the middle. If you see some pieces that stick out, so maybe you have this, pink flower that is only in the middle of the whole puzzle. You start seeing pieces there, you can kind of put those together, but don't start filling in pieces unless you are absolutely sure. We have to be strategic in these days. Everything that we do. I truthfully wanted to, always try to throw on, I know I started slipping toward the end of the year. I always try to throw on like a shirt that, just says something, goes with something for me, for the show, for the message, right? And I plan to put on this shirt that I have, but I'll wait till I think we're going to talk about finance very soon. And so, because we need to get all of our affairs in order, all of them. And so it says something to respect my dollar or respect my back, right? I think it says respect my black dollar. I mentioned that because when I say that we need to take or refer to the vision, and that we need to, keep in mind, the mission, keep in mind the goal, like what we're working toward. It all ties in together, y'all. I have said this probably 1 million times in my life. Once something, someone, some company, organization, whatever is canceled, it's canceled. Here is the cancel culture police. Where are those? They working with the Capitol Police, the weak ass security in there. Is that what's going on? Yo, when I'm telling y'all, I cannot tell y'all how much of a coon I see when I still see us posting on social media like Gucci belts and all that and Gucci bag. We just forgot that they were racist toward us, called us monkeys blatantly. I don't see them saying nothing about these monkeys, climbing up the walls and nothing like that. Are we saying that doesn't matter? It does. And it has to matter to us, right? So in order for us to get our affairs in order, we have to be clear about who is not with us, who is not at the table with us, who is not invited to the picnic, to the cookout. And that always, just the thing, like, oh yeah, such and such is invited to the cookout. Okay, cool. Can we talk about who is not invited to the cookout and leave them there? Leave them there. It is not a sign of honor. It's not a badge of honor, something proud to wear to say I made it. I can buy Gucci now. To hell with it. Somebody come up with something. And I don't know if you're going to call it Gucci, but I mean, just, can we get some black Gucci? Okay. If that's what y'all need. And as far as I'm concerned, it's out there. We definitely have high end, labels and fashion designers that are blackity black. Get into them. But yet you'll go to them and want to complain about their prices and all. But yet you're proud to either, steal something from a high-end, fashion designer because of the name that they've had for so long and who they are, what they've established, including, excluding us and never making anything for us. So we have to be very clear on the fact that we keep trying to bombard, these places that have excluded us for so long. Right. So we want to feel like we're making something. We're saying they didn't make this for us. Gucci made the statement that, they wasn't, I believe it was Gucci. Now I know for sure about them being racist, but I can't remember who in recent years clearly stated that they, did not make their brand for us, which is most of them. But either way, it was one in particular, right? And so we were like, oh my God, we were up in an uproar about that. And then we went back to buying them. Like, I'm confused. Like, so I get that we want to be able to say, like, no, you're going to respect this, you're going to take this. But if you don't accept me, that's fine. Let me go elsewhere. That's the mindset we need. It's 2021 now. I don't understand. What else are we waiting for? They doing what they want to do, clearly. Why shouldn't we do what we want to do? Because we don't seem to pull together and stay there. Like, we have to, when you see your brother, your sister falling, like, hey baby girl, no, you don't need that. Hey baby bro, you don't want this. Check them on something like that. Like, I don't get it. Right. Because I don't know anybody like close enough to me that I've seen like post something or say something and be proud to say they got something Gucci, because I'm not. Like, it's so much so to me that even when I see like celebrities, right, they post something, it might even be like a baby picture. Like, oh, post something of that baby. I peep it. Like, is that Gucci? Oh no, not liking that. Like, I don't understand. Now, I'm not that person that hop all up on the comments and be like, why you got Gucci on this baby? You gonna turn his skin green. But like, just we got to be clear about it, y'all. We have got to be clear about it if we're going to move forward. And the issue is that the times that we're in, the unprecedented times that we're in right now, are calling for us to move forward. I mentioned last week, so now that we're actually in the new year, baby, my word, my term, my phrase or whatever for 21 is forward motion. That's it. Like, all the seeds that have been planted within me, all the seeds that I have planted in 2020, like, that's it. I'm growing up. More upward, forward. That's it. Like, that's just, it's like, no, if I'm going back, I'm going back to Christ. That's it. Like, if I'm going backwards, and that's going to propel me forward even more. So that's it. Right. And we have to just be so clear about that. And we done lost sight again. And so we see these, this behavior and these people, right, act in such a barbaric way that we know it is within them. The way they treat us on a regular basis. All the systems that are in place are built on barbaric behavior. And yet we're surprised to see them act this way. Oh, it's 2021, right? The shit needed to come out. It was necessary. What happened yesterday was necessary. While I am a believer and just a human, I absolutely believe that it's very unfortunate that any lives were lost. Absolutely. I'll leave that there, right? But, oh Lord, help me. In a war, y'all connect that. In a war, it's almost like, not necessarily life for life, because I don't think they would ever, at least in this day, I won't say we'll never, because I don't know. But as far as we know, up to date, they have not, bared, we know this. They haven't, nowhere near have they bared the loss that we have, like no way, no comparison. So while it's unfortunate that that lives were lost in this mess yesterday. And I'll be very truthful, and this is wrong, and I legit repented for this. There's the one video, as I know now, God rest her soul, that the young lady has now, passed, right? But it was while, she was, I believe, had just been, admitted to the hospital. And so I was just catching wind of the video of her being shot, and she's on the floor, and there, the security is coming to her aid, and other, rioters and baboons and all of them were coming to her aid, and I couldn't see, right? So in the video, I'm looking, I don't know if it was because my brightness was down or what. I'm looking, I can't really see, I'm squinting and all that, child. And then it's like somebody finally moves, and I saw that hand, wasn't a brown hand. I stopped caring for like 5 seconds. I did. I ain't lying. I whisper that a little bit because it's wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's wrong because you never want to, wish death upon anybody. You don't want to wish hurt or harm. I'm always wishing understanding, like clarity, love. Like I'm a hippie, modern day hippie. Hey, that's me. That's what I'm always wishing and hoping and praying, over people, right? And so in order to get there, it got to get gritty. Like it's gonna have to get nasty. Like if people gonna have to work it out. Y'all ever have to wash something out by hand? And you got to rub them knuckles together, okay? Ladies, in a special time of the month, y'all ain't ever have washed no period panties in the sink. All right. Fellas, I don't know, your doo-doo stains, I'm not sure. Whatever it is that made you have to wash something out by hand, okay? Even if it was like the most delicate of, article of clothing, like you had to, you wet it, boom, you get your soap, boom, you're getting that thing up out of there, right? And you got, you squeezing it and you rubbing it and this and the third in order to get it, better. We in that part, whatever that is, okay? If you ever do that, it's friction. It's warm right there now. My knuckles are warm. Like it's heating up, and it's necessary to get us to where we need to get to. That's just it. It's unfortunate, right? Right. So follow me. I'm not proud of it, not happy. I believe the last that I heard was like 5 lives were lost. Never happy about that, but so were hundreds of thousands lost due to COVID. And there hasn't been much happening there to help us. We just get to the point where we're inching onto a year of lockdown and shutdown. Just saying, No, what do I know? We got to do better, right? We should not be giving energy towards something that, not necessarily that it doesn't have anything to do with us. It just should not shock us. I don't know any other way to put it for y'all. It should not shock us. It should not upset us. If it shocks you, then stop it right there, like, and then be like, oh, child, let me get myself together. That's it. That's all the energy you deserve to give it. That's it, and that's all. To watch them do what they need to do, because now we were able to pick up on so quickly. I'm sure we can all agree them somewhere, somehow, inside job, because there's an image that I saw of a black, assumed father, because it was a baby sitting on his shoulder, right? And there was a comparison pose. And so he has his baby sitting on his shoulder. The officer has the gun almost like touching his nose, right? Inches away from his nose with his baby on his shoulder. And it looks like a peaceful protest to me. Okay. Then you slide it over. There's, just willy-nilliness, right? To these barbaric individuals just acting like pure animals. And they just come on. They took the hand, you reach back, come on, boom, like that. And you reach back, get that hand, and just walked on in there, walked into I almost said state's capital, the national capital, the nation's capital. They walked right on in there, right? And there's another video where, and we talked about it a little bit I had a staff meeting earlier, and it's a good mix of people, right? So I have 2, I know one for sure. The other also might be with a Pakistani background, right? One for sure I know, right? So there's 2 of them. So there's one female, one male. They're, I don't know why I feel the need to say if they're not related or anything, but, so they're 2 totally different like homes and families, but both like from Pakistan. And then there are some of us that are Black, a few white. I think that's the mix of us. I think that's it. And so it came up. It came up to talk about, and I appreciate it. It wasn't even me to bring it up. It wasn't. I don't think it was any of the Blacks. Like we just showed them, we there. Okay, we're gonna meet. Boom. Let's get on up out of here. We're talking about it, and I believe I can say that all of us were on one accord. As far as it's unfortunate, should not have happened. It's disgusting. Right? I don't believe, but we can never be too sure. I don't believe anybody was a Trump supporter. So again, I think I can step out on a limb and believe that, all of us at least are on one accord there. But it's still the dynamic. So, you have certain individuals that were quiet and then just felt they needed to kind of like clean us up, at the end and kind of bring us all back, to one page, and in order for us to dismiss. There was the comment from the Pakistani female that said, if it was either I or the Pakistani gentleman, that said if it was either the one of those two, that they would immediately be labeled as terrorists, and that it had to be stated in this meeting of just, a mix of different backgrounds, that that these people, right, that ran into the Capitol yesterday are domestic terrorists and should be treated as such. And yet we haven't seen any evidence of that. We've seen where in these peaceful protests that they were crying the same song, as far as what, made them take some of, our lives, that they were afraid for their lives. Just our existence apparently, equated resistance. Automatically they felt like we were resisting them and all of that, and that wasn't the case. And so, that's why they, did whatever they needed to do, or that they felt they needed to do in the moment's time. But yet in this time, not the case. Then here's a statement made earlier where, he's making a statement about this as a white person. Okay, cool. What I made note of was that all these statements that are being made, and I know I'm kind of all over the place now, but I'm bringing it together, I promise, that all these statements that are being made, they're so calm. Whereas when they were talking about even our peaceful protests, they were outraged. You could tell the way they were talking, even if they, talked about it, on the news or something, there was a behind them. Like, I can't believe, these neggers, would do this, and that they're all like that, right? But yet here's this, like, even though he was speaking, about, what his looking at his people did yesterday, right? He was speaking about them, and he was calm, even though he was saying, I'm not sure if he quoted them and called them domestic terrorists, but he had made mention of, some of them. He did say they could have blown us all up and killed us. We're 20 years past 9/11 is what he said. Okay, thank you. But so what's the action behind it? I'm not taking your words. Like, your words do nothing for me. And I'm a person that, like, words mean a whole lot to me. Your words say nothing now. They never really did. But I mean, now for sure, they have lost all value. So where's the action? Where are they being, brought to DC to be prosecuted? I mean, is it lethal injection? I'm not sure. I'm not calling for anything over anything else. At the very least, there needs to be action taken. Point blank, period. Whereas we're still looking at, justice for walls of an apartment over an innocent life. Again, justice for Breonna Taylor. We saw justice for walls over an innocent life. Whereas now, I mean, these people have done this and nothing, right? And it's all because we know for sure inside job and all of that. So we're able to watch all of these things in comparison to, like I was saying before, like back in the summer, where that, a lot of us talked about how that just wrapped us up. That, I mean, it brought us to tears. It kept us down for a little bit, right? It shook us at the very least. It messed with our mental. And now I'll be honest, I'm able to catch and watch all of these videos. I'll be honest to say, I don't believe it's just because it's not us. There's something about us, right? That, when we hear of, I don't know, a terrorist attack or, a terrorist attack. So, right. So, movies, things, right. It gives us a sense of relief, unfortunately. And that's the only reason I chuckled just now. It gives us a sense of relief that, it wasn't us. Oh, thank you, Lord. Like, whew, right. So I'll be honest that I'm able to stomach all these different videos and footage of all the different angles and things like that a lot more than I was able to stomach anything that happened all throughout 2020 and prior to then. And like I said, I don't think it's just because it wasn't us though. I think it's because I just have this sense of, it's like when you have that sense of peace, like when we talk about, peace, that God will grant you peace, beyond any understanding, like he just will. And you'll be like, how the hell am I at peace right now? Like, I know you're lying. This is crazy. right? And you just be like, but I'm all right. I'm okay. It's something like that. And so able to, stomach some of these things, knowing that it is necessary. It was necessary, y'all. Because at the very least, I think I said this already, but if I didn't, that somebody somewhere needed to see it. Again, it could have been some of our, skin folk that aren't necessarily kinfolk. It could definitely be anybody else that doesn't really look like us at all, or somebody in between that, just couldn't believe. And now, I mean, it's all over. And I don't know, a part of me wants to say, of course, they're about to try to sweep this under the rug, but whatever the last, the next steps are, we have to keep this in mind. Like, this is something to be able to say, like, you want to talk about Black people, but what about y'all that just did, X, Y, and Z on the nation's capital? Like, it gives us some leverage. Now once we get to the place of really in the same room at the table, negotiating, like, it gives us something. We have some content. We've had some content. And this is why we have to be clear about what our demands are, what I've been talking about, for the past months, right? Of, being very, very clear about, what it is that we expect, why we even expect whatever it is on that list. So our list of expectations, like, I mean, we have to move in such a strategic way as a people in order to get us to a place, to a better place. Right? We have to define that better place. If that better place is y'all stay over there, we over here, that'll always get my vote. I'll be very honest. I'm open-minded to other options, but that'll always get my vote. I'm totally okay with that. I ain't saying it gotta be segregation, but I'll take separation. I'll take it. I will absolutely take it. That's it and that's all. Stack up these coins so that way if we're buying the house, they might be, Lord, I just broke a nail. Jeez. Oh, God. I'm sorry. That hurt my feelings. Oh, Lord. Don't get my nails on this weekend, y'all. I just broke a good nail. All right, I'm gonna get over it. But yeah, so, like if we stack up these coins and then we buy the houses in these gentrified areas, what are they about to say? Huh? What are they about to do? Huh? Oh, okay. Just, I digress. I had to get that out, y'all. I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all cannot agree with anything that I just said, or with all of it. None of it. Some of it. I ain't mad either way. I'm really not. You just got to tell me. You got to let me know, because I could just be shooting in the wind here. I doubt it, but I could just be, right? But there's some other things, right? So before we get out of here today, is that in the same token that we are, working, we're, never quit, right? So working to just do some things. I don't know if anybody else, you gotta find a balance. Like, anybody sinned already in the new year? No, just me. Okay. We'll get into that. I'm not gonna put myself out there. Not quite, not yet. I don't know if I'm ready yet. But in the same token of when we're, fighting the good fight, right? And we are, working toward a greater cause, we have to take the moment to, smell the flowers, right? It's a cliche, just a phrase that's overly utilized, but, you have to, right? 2020 definitely gave us the real sense of, I think, like, on a higher level of unification. So unifying and coming together as a people, it gave us a sense of, giving people, their flowers while they're here type of thing. And so going along with that is, celebrating all that has happened, even in the midst of a pandemic, in the midst of social unrest, just everything, all the stupidity that we've seen all up in the Orange House, the White House, with y'all's exiting president, because it's all for a greater good. So the promo for the show, right? I reposted somebody's tweet that said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the world is never going back to normal. Never. You're going to have to be realistic. If you're going to advance through this, you're going to have to do things in new ways, learn new skills, and adapt different outlooks. Y'all need to break that down? I need to dissect that? Or is this pretty self-explanatory? It should be, but I get it, right? Again, we need to get out of the shouldas, so my bad. Let's go with the first clause. Never going back to normal. You don't want it to. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you that right now. You don't want it to. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate you. Okay. Shout out to Living a Rich Life. Y'all make sure y'all catch it. Big Exposed Radio.com. That, you know, it's never going back to a normal life. We are never going back to normal. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but if not, that's okay. Come on. I'm reading comments now, y'all. Sorry. It got me all excited all over again. Separation versus segregation. It's LOL might be the key. I'm telling you, Rich, listen, it's the key, baby. I don't know what else. That's it. It's totally okay. See, back then it was separation, but it was the segregation, right? That would, because it was that nasty feeling of like, y'all drink out of this. Y'all come through this door. What the hell are you to tell me? I don't even want to shop at your same fucking store anyway. So go ahead about your business. Like, because I'm gonna go ahead about my Black owned business over here, right? Or I'm gonna go head over to my brother or my cousin or my somebody's, just this other Black business over here and get these things, and I'm gonna be okay with it, right? So it's even shifting our mind of, as we start off, because I mean, there are a lot of businesses growing. It's in 2020 alone, a lot of Black owned businesses, came out of it, and I love to see it. Beware, y'all, beware. I did hear, I believe it's an official statement by the IRS, I believe. Don't quote me. But I did hear, and I either read somewhere or something very recently, I can't think of it. I need to double check. I definitely need to do my fact check. But that it more than likely it'll be more audits, just small business audits. So get your affairs in order. That's what I mean. Like we finna talk about some real stuff. Like we need to talk about finances probably next week. I'm not sure, but before the end of this month, like this first month of the year, I need y'all to get your affairs in order. And that's me included. So I'm not gonna say, I need us to get our affairs in order, period. We've got to have these boring conversations. We've got to talk about it. Financial literacy, we keep seeing all day, they were giving us the opportunity. They were handing it out to us, different organizations and agencies and things, and just, hosting this free event, knowing that it was shit we weren't even looking into. We weren't caring about, myself included. And I was running organizations and programs that were offering and bringing in vendors to speak to, youth and their parents and communities and all of that about financial literacy, and knowing damn well I could have benefited from it. Now I'm working in the background. I'm like, I should have. Whew, that's okay. That's okay. I got to pay because I didn't, I learned now, but a little late on the free end. Okay, cool. Right. So we need to get our affairs in order because, like I said, they come in for, which again, it's making sense of what they're doing. They like, oh, okay. Oh, wow. Niggas want to have businesses now. Cool. We're going to audit that ass. All right. Okay. We're going to get it together then. Period. We're going to have it all in order. So that's why it's important to invest in your businesses, right? I'm telling y'all, I told y'all, y'all forgive boss. She just doing whatever she wanted. Let's do that. I don't like it, but we're just going to swing that over there like that. Shorty swing my way. Okay. That looks crazy, but I digress. Like, it makes sense, right? They're going to come for us, but then it's to learn of, the importance of investing in our businesses, right? So packing our teams, right? I was just on a conversation with a new friend, right? And she was like, baby, you need a personal assistant. Like, not even being funny. Yeah, come on, Rich. You got me hollering over here. Rich said, we really need to focus on us collectively, period. With a mic, let me drop it. Like, that's it. Like, I'm corny, but that's it. Like, just us collectively. That part right there, that whole statement is like a mouthful. If we literally, can we all, I'll probably pin this comment, right? Because if we all, when we talk about affirmations and all that, just like personally, right? So keep your personal affirmations. Hopefully you are speaking into yourself every day, and it gets, I'll talk about it myself. Mind you, I get on here and tell y'all we need to and feel good and better, and then I'll go and just do nothing. Like he just messing up, man. Lord have mercy. But a part of like the positive self-talk that we have, if you can add on the end of it, like one for the community, is just like when you pray, right? So when you pray, a part of just your personal prayer should include, you know, you covering yourself. I just had a conversation earlier where I was talking about like feeling vulnerable, like I was telling y'all like just about yesterday, and feeling like, dang, like I need some covering in here, like, you know, like just I need, you know, covering, right? So when you pray, you want to cover yourself, you know, your home, your household, your, you know, finance, all of that, all of your stuff. You want to cover anything or anybody that you are duty bound to cover in prayer. And at the least, if you don't feel like there's somebody somewhere out there that you need to cover specifically. So if you are, you say, for example, if you are not associated with a church home, right? And so that you have no idea of, you know, a sick and shut in list, you can make a general statement of, you know, Lord, cover all those on the sick and shut in list. But if not, at the least, you are definitely duty bound as a person of color, especially in America. Okay, if you are a colored, you are duty bound to cover us, our community, right? Because it is focusing on us collectively. Like that whole statement, I'm telling you, we, Rich, ooh, is doing something for me, okay? We, all together now, okay? Really, so it's urgent, need, right? It's necessary to focus attention. We need attention on it, right? We gotta drive it home. The only way to drive something, right? You driving the car, driving a bus, truck, boat. Y'all like to drive the boat. You still gotta focus your attention on the bottom of that Hennessy bottle. So you got to put your attention on it, okay? So we really need to focus on us, okay? That is being inclusive. That is humbling yourself. That is, you know, saying that you are a part of a bigger cause. But that even in that, you as one individual are a part of something, because as humans, we know this by nature, we feel the need to be a part of something, right? That's why, you know, there's the conversations about, you know, why young people or just why people go out and join gangs, and you watch all the documentaries and, you know, I ain't feel a family and I needed, you know, nigga to dap me up and, you know, throw my big C's up and all that. Okay, cool. Okay. The point blank period, Dontrell needed to feel a part of something. Okay, so we need to focus on us. Okay, that's our unit, us. Okay, collectively, all together now. Okay, that's it. That is a mouthful of a statement. We really need to focus on us collectively. And I ain't about to, you know, I'm a little crazy on like grammar and all that. I love the fact that it's 3 exclamation points because it's that important, just saying. So appreciate that, Rich. Definitely appreciate you for that. Like, I had to take a minute on that one because, whew, that spoke to me. But, you know, like with the separation versus segregation, like, we have to get to the attitude, like we carry that we are, you know, it's all the talks of, you know, and not just talks, but of who we are, right? We are of royal descent and this and that. Like, so put that all into perspective. Everything that we are hearing, I take heed to the fact of everything that I see, even if it is scrolling on social media. I take heed to the fact that I am seeing this for a reason, right? Like, y'all, forgive my head, for real. Well, forgive me for keep messing with it because it's really fine, but y'all just can't tell that. But like I take heed to it because I'm seeing it for a reason, right? So that's one of those things of, like I said, we're going to learn of how there's real meaning behind some of these cliches that we've heard, you know, basically all our lives. Everything happens for a reason. Totally believe in that, especially if you are a believer. You are a believer in Christ, everything absolutely happens for a reason, right? Some things are unfortunate. Some things, you know, God allows. Some things he does. Something he allows, you know, just gives us free will to, you know, free range to figure out. And God definitely gives us free range to fuck up. Go ahead and tell you that now. Yes, this is the B mix. And somehow, some way, I mix in talking about God and cussing sometimes. It happens. You have to get over it. I don't know what to do. Truly a believer. So, you know, anyway, but he gives us that. He does. I don't know what else, because definitely he knows that's how I learn. Right. And so with all of that mixed in, like, it is to learn that, you know, everything, like I said, happens for a reason in order for us to grow from it. That's how he, you know, uses it for our good. Your mama might want better for you, but she can't do for you what God finna do. You know, she need, you know, she or even your dad, you know, your father, right? Or whoever your guardian was growing up, that, you know, they are to act as God does for us, to, you know, allow us to mess up somewhere and all that, but we're human. So that's my baby. Oh God, a scuff on the knee. Oh Lord, right? We don't want that. God, however, he that. He know to be like, you know what? Guess what? You need to let that nigga hurt your feelings for a little while longer. You need to go ahead and have a baby by yup. Now you got an 18 at least 18-year commitment with the same nigga that used to beat your ass. Yup. Yup. That's the only way you fit to learn. Like things like that. Just, you know, throwing things out there for shits and giggles. Because it needs to happen, right? Because it's giving him some content to work with in order to make it all work for our good. And so even when we go back to, and we're talking about like separation versus segregation, that, okay, segregation happened, cool. We work from it. Okay. Okay. We got some rights, you know, okay, cool. All right. Things a little better here now, right? So even in the midst of all of this happening now, we can still say that things are better for us than they were back then. We can at least take that. If it's not if the gap or the list rather is not as long as we want it to be, or if it is not, you know, the margin is not, you know, where we need it to be, fine. That shows us that there's more work to do. If there's more work to do, that means there's more life to live. So that speaks to us of having more life, at least within us, our generations, ourselves, or the generations to come after us, because we are definitely the chosen people to stack it up and make it better for the generations to come. So yes, we hear we were in last and evil days and all that. They thought that way back then too. And the plagues and all of that we read about in the Bible. So we're talking about millions of years ago, right? They've been thinking that Jesus was coming back. We don't know when, and that's fine. But I tell you right now, it's not about to stop me. I didn't have some times where I'm like, well, shouldn't Jesus come back then? Now, Lord, I didn't do all I can do. You go ahead and just take this. And that's not the case. It's not to throw in the towel just because we know he's coming back. No, it's to make it happen now, right? So we learned from, you know, segregation. Okay, so now things are a little better. We'll just say a little better than they were back then. We get to a place of separation. So that's why it's the importance of building our communities, having our own everything, and changing our mindset to where what I would normally get from Macy's, because it is not Black owned. And I would normally want, you know, I don't know, I would want some stockings, some pantyhose that come from Macy's. Child, I'm gonna go ahead to this mom and pop store. It might be a little itchier, but I'm gonna just get over it, because we are now in a place of I'm only supporting, you know, Black. That's it. So it's starting to happen. We are scratching the surface. And I mean, barely, like, kind of like that. That's the scratch that we're doing at the surface. We need to dig into the surface now. Like, please stop pussyfooting. Like, I was about to start yelling again. Calm it down. Y'all, we have to stop pussyfooting as a people. That is another B tip of the week. Stop pussyfooting as a people. Okay? We have to do better. We have to do more. We have to get into some things, whatever it is. Some things too that I even started on just in 2020, right? That I've slept on for so long and started on and then have put back down. And I've come before y'all and said, like, y'all, this isn't the time to, you know, do this. And this isn't the time to, you know, either stand still or go backwards. I've done both within the new year. Like, okay, Benia, come on, baby, pull it together. It's not the time. We got a forward motion. Okay. So even so much so that even I had a conversation just before the show of that it was like talking about like how I've been beating myself up on, like, you know, taking a break. So technically, I guess that was, you know, God's way of just giving me a little break. I've been doing a lot and I was beating myself up though. So that's why I felt like I was in a place. I don't know. I don't even want to really say like a funk, but just in a place, right? I think it's a piece of cat hair in my hair. It's not. It's mine. Okay, sorry. Yo, I'm seeing everything on this end. But, you know, it was like, this is, it was harder to deal with because I wasn't allowing myself to, I wasn't allowing myself to take heed to the rest time, right? Like I wasn't doing that. Like, oh, hold on. Keep shining, queen. Dinner time, about to eat and watch CNN for the updates. Listen, Rich, appreciate you. Okay. Stay up, King. Okay. I definitely appreciate you tonight. I mean that. If I had have taken heed to the fact that it was, you know, rest time for me. So remember, I just told y'all that too. So it's funny how when you know pour out right to others, that then you're tested with that same thing either beforehand, during, or after, to be able to really to attest to you know the advice that you're giving, and that advice comes from nowhere but God, right? So when God gives you something to say, then it's like, all right, you got to make sure you really believe this. I remember someone in particular was saying like they really believe that, you know, was praying that, you know, God would really just work some miracles, because he has, right? So a lot of lives were lost, very unfortunately, right, due to COVID alone, in 2020. And then, but fortunately, there were a lot of lives that, you know, a lot of people that experienced it and, you know, lived through it. And so this one particular person was talking about the fact that, you know, she had just been praying and really believed. And then, you know, like she then experienced COVID, right? And so her testimony that she was talking about that, you know, she really learned then, was like, wow, something I was really believing God to do. Then she was in that place of like learning, you know, through that, to really still believe that he would bring, you know, even herself through it, and just knowing like, Lord, you, you really bringing people through this. Like, you know, there are a lot of people losing their lives, and then there are a lot of people in there. So she really felt like there's some people that went through it and didn't have, I guess, have it as bad as others. And I think she was one that had it like pretty bad, and still was just like, I really learned to believe what I was believing. Like believe, you know, it's real when you say it twice. And so, you know, all of that to say that, you know, again, to the idea of that, you know, everything happens, you know, for a reason. And it's that more life to live part is learning in that meantime of what that reason was, right? And seeking out the purpose in everything, because that's how we become, you know, more intentional about what we're doing, you know, as far as moving, you know, the mission forward. Forward motion is definitely, you know, on our radar for this year. And so back to what I was getting to earlier was that it's even good to, you know, make sure that we, celebrate the good. There's some good that has come out of, like I said before, you know, 2020, or just in this recent time, right? I was so hyped. I really, I should have went live because I was so hyped. I think it was about Tuesday. Was it Thursday, right? So by Tuesday, I was just like beaming, like gleaming, just, because I get so happy. Like I told y'all before that naturally, you know, people tell me their stuff, right? So I've just really, again, things happen for a reason, because it just happened a lot. And I'm like, I don't know why people tell me whatever. And then I learned the reason in that is that it's something about it. It's my spirit. It's something, right? It's the God in me. I know for sure that, you know, it must play something in me to be like, hey, spirit to spirit. Hey, you can tell her. Yeah, you can tell her. It's fine, right? She ain't going to judge. She just going to listen. It's just going to happen. And so, of course, you know, that means everything. So a lot of times it's people tell me like not so good stuff, you know, that they've done, that they are learning, that has happened to them, you know, just all of that. And then it was on me to learn how, because I'm a carrier. So I would carry those people's stuff. Like, oh, I'm so sad. Lord, this happened. Oh, right. No. My job was to carry it to Christ and then leave it there, right? Not to bring me down, because then that's me losing my livelihood. So I'm learning. But I'm telling you now that because of that, so it's not just because, of course, the average person would love to hear good things, but because of the fact that people tell me all different types of their stuff, right? Good, bad, indifferent, ugly, and all that. It's the good is like so much greater. I was definitely about to say so much gooder, y'all. Help me. Not after I just had to spell capital out to y'all again, which is CAPITOL. I'm not gonna say it no more, because I don't want to say it no more. Okay, I might spell it again, because I ain't even gonna be mad at spelling it again. I just don't want to see it no more. I don't want y'all talking about the capital like a capital letter. Okay, CAPITAL is capital, as in a capitalization of a letter. So see how these letters are written. We'll give you a quick little lesson. Okay, so actually all of these are written in, you know, in capital letters. Okay, it's capital letters. CAPITAL is what these are, capital letters. The nation's capital that was overtaken on yesternoon is CAPITOL. Y'all got it? All right, now don't let me see it no more. All right. Um, but celebrating like the good, right? And baby, when I tell you by Tuesday, I had heard so many just testimony, just so much good, y'all. So like, shout out to Sergeant Jones. Okay, that's on period. Okay, babies out here getting promotions and all of that. Speaking of, one of my best friends, he received a promotion. I think that's what it was. I can't remember. I was so sad. I was trying to make sure I write it all down so I can remember different things. Then I had my good girlfriend, my sis. Okay, she coming through with just revelations. And I don't mean to say just, but like that alone, like when we make profound statements and when we come to, realizations for ourselves and acknowledge certain things, like, I need to do this better and this is how I'm about to move now. And it's actually like substantial and like conscientious, like it makes me so happy because I cannot change your behaviors. All I'm here to do is to help guide your way of thinking. That's it. I'm like your psyche tour guide. That's all I can do. I can't, I do this, right? As in I want to pop your hand or pop your forehead to tell you to stop spelling it incorrectly and to spell it CAPITOL. Okay. Because I can't, y'all kill it. But I can't change that for you. Trust me, if I could. If it was like if social media was like a Zoom account and I could go in there and fix y'all grammar and all of that, I would. Shout out to Crown Consultant LLC because that is what I do. That is what one of my businesses that I have, my first LLC that I formed. I am here to, it's not even a commercial, I promise, but it just made me think of it, that, for our businesses, our small businesses, I never call it that, so forgive me. I never really refer to our businesses as small businesses. I actually love that who my very first guest was. Shout out to the priest, man. Shout out to him. He was my very first guest on the B Mix back in July 2020. Oh my gosh. And he always referred to our businesses as big businesses. I love that. Love that. Told y'all, along with the idea of moving our mission forward and being very clear about our demands and our expectations and all of that is about not fixing, reconditioning. That's what I'm looking for. Reconditioning our minds as to, how we think and how we refer to things, the words that we speak, right? It's very important. And so, I'll get back to what we speak about in a minute before we close out of here, I promise. But let me actually make that note so I don't forget y'all. I don't know how to be. Okay. All right. Okay, wait a minute. One more. Hook. Okay. Y'all, I'm gonna get to that. Of what we speak, right, is very important. And so, what was I saying? What was my original thing? See, that's what I get. This is what I get, Lord. Y'all break my brain. I'm here to be your psyche tour guide, but it'd be like my brain be on 100. Okay, but lost it. I lost it, y'all. I tried to bring it back. It's not coming. There we go. Got it. Ooh, thank you, Lord. So my very first guest, like I said, the priest, he referred to all of our businesses as big businesses, right? And I love that. Thank you. I know the princess trying to come on take over my show again. It's not happening. Not until she's invited. Just be invited. So yeah, sorry. So and just to refer to our businesses as big businesses, right? So my apologies for even slipping and calling it small businesses. But what I was just putting a plug in about Crown Consultant LLC, that the mission is to help us in the places where we need help. And it's small things that we need help on, but they matter, right? So the minute things matter. So much so that, when we talk about our grammatical, errors, oh my Lord, that'll go a longer way, even if it's somebody that wouldn't pick up on the fact that, you had an extra space or, the wrong, punctuation or misspelled, there, right? Even if your audience or, rather your clientele comes along and it's, every third person that wouldn't really pick up on that, right? It's to make sure that the experience overall is good. So that way we can get away from us, speaking down on our businesses. You know, we're quick to talk about, you know, these our Black businesses and this. Oh Lord, my experience here. That's still happening. Ew. Right. I want to get us away from that. So I am like here. I'm the one that will, you know, proofread and edit contracts and, you know, I mean, just things, whatever we need to, you know, your content, your website content, your social media content, all of that is what I'm here to do. So again, when I talked about like investing in your own business, is packing your, I was gonna say partnership. That's really what it is, but packing your team, right? But packing your team, you should have a consultant. You should have somebody on your team to, you know, help look over your stuff, right? It's just important. So that's my little soapbox. But back to like celebrating like the testimonies that I've received. I think, like I said, by Tuesday was so today is the 7th, Tuesday was the 5th. That you know, by the 5th of this year, of this month, right, I had received like 7 different testimonies of just great things. Like I said, it was Sergeant Jones, shout out to her. And then my good girl from my sis that came through with like just revelations of just how like, oh God, one of them being, you know, really that, you know, focusing on the fact that, you know, just the things that she cannot change. And then so much so that, you know, saying that, you know, she plans to remind, well, first of all, to like affiliate and associate herself with only friends and family that are, you know, like-minded, right? That's so important. We get to that place, that helps to, that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody's cutting this person off on and off and off, but it means that different, you know, groups that will work better to, you know, with each other and work alongside each other and, you know, in a better light, then those groups will form. And so why separation can work, right? So yes, not technically, but yes, we want us to come together and to unify, but we know that in large groups, even if you have a group of 10, I was going to say 20, but even 10, there's somewhere within that 10 that certain ones will cluster together. So that's going to happen within the Black community. It's going to happen. And that's okay though, right? So they're going to be, if you think of high school, think of your average typical high school lunch room, right? So your cafeteria, boom, you got your goth kids, you got your nerds, right? Some places you have your nerds and your geeks together. Some you just got your nerds and then you got your geeks, okay? You got your popular folk, you know? I don't know, you might have the chubby chasers, I don't know, just the band geeks. Shout out to the band geeks. Hey, you know, it's going to happen. Meanwhile, there's peace on a good average day, right? On a normal day, right? There's peace. Everybody eating. Ain't that what we all want to do? Everybody want to eat, right? Man cannot live on bread alone. I'm just saying. So as you know, we finna eat physically, spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, you know, so mentally, like, I mean, all of that, right? And so its separation can work. So it's going to happen, like I said, amongst, you know, within the Black community, and it can happen that way. So when people get the right mindset, like I said, it's not all about, oh, I'm cutting this person on and I mean, no, not on and off, but cutting this person off and off and off. And these people, it's more so of I, you know, plan to whatever that, the suction cup. I don't know, what's that? That's right. I plan to link with like-minded people. So that way, if this person that I used to associate myself with even closely is not, you know, like-minded, then they will find their like-minded people. And then, but it's also about a conversation. So when you're, you know, cutting off from people, I value this about myself, that as much as I want to say that I cut people off, I'll be done. Like I like a conversation. I like to be able to clear the air and all of that. I know I'm now putting my foot in my mouth because I can think of some semi-recent, you know, situations that are left, you know, left for closure to happen at some point, whether or another. But it's important. It's important to clear that air because people need to know. So I've, you know, stopped talking to, you know, guys that I, you know, met and we were getting to know each other, but it just was not work for me. And I spoke my piece and then I was done with it. Like, you know, because I believe that everything, you know, deserves a conversation nonetheless. And so the revelations always move me. When you tell me that you came up with something like, girl, I came to a conclusion that I'm this and I need to do this better and I'm really moving and I can believe in you just from hearing, it was through a text message conversation actually. So like just reading your words, And I'm not as naive as, I don't know, maybe I come off to be. So like I'm reading stuff and I'm a feeler. That did for me. So the Revelations is definitely on my list of like testimonies by just the 5th day of the year, right? Like I said, my best friend, he received like another promotion. He's just doing great things. I'm so excited. Child, my sister is investing in school. She's about to just finish school. Like, and so the fact that she was like, I'm saying it out loud for you to hold me accountable, bruh. That is like, yeah, like it doesn't just have to be on like when people will be like, oh, it's the new year. So, let me say this out loud. Let me post something about it. So that way y'all hold me accountable. So, I can drop these 40 pounds. Like, nah, it doesn't just have to be that. I'm talking about big, big, big moves, like big, big, big moves. I'm so happy about that. What was this one? I forgot. I don't even know. I tried to make like quick notes and now this one, I got it. So no, I forgot what this one, positive encouragement. I forgot what this one meant, y'all, but it's on my list of testimonies. So shout out to them too, man. Then it's another person going back to school, right? And that's my sister-in-law, like just already making achievements, like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I know what it was. I got it. So another sister of mine, long story short, like, it was like a loss, right? And then she called me and was just like, hey, I'm kind of sad about it. And not a loss as in like grief of a person. Let me make that clear. And so, I just, me being me, just speak encouragement and all that. And it has me thinking of, I've seen this thing, I think it was like Dear Abby or something like that. It was, I don't know where it was. I know it was on Newsbreak. So it was like an article and people kind of sign in. Maybe we'll start that here on the B-Mix. Like somehow figure out how y'all can anonymously, if y'all want to stay anonymous, because I really want y'all to be open to send anything, but anonymously, like, submit something like a Dear B mix or something, Dear B, I don't know. And then, I'll speak to that because child, I'm good at doing it. But so long story short, like, just gave positive encouragement. And, I remember even saying like, it may not, trying to be realistic about it as well. Like it may not happen immediately, but you'll see this and the third. Child, for the time frame that I hung up with her, talked to my sister-in-law about her achievements and all that, boom. Then in 30 minutes or so, she's calling me back, telling me like, that, God didn't just move, like, it was immediate, like a move, like, oh my God. Just amazing, like amazing works of God. Like he be moving like that, man. Like, and I even spoke to her and said, like, I'm glad you didn't even listen to me of like when I was saying that it may not happen as immediate as you needed to, because it ended up doing that way. So like, that's the good thing about like all my biggest push was just staying positive about it, because what I made the point of is again about like our mindset. If she had allowed herself to, take on a negative mindset, once she received the good news, she would have then had to backpedal and use that energy and lose time and, sleep, space, whatever, right? And just energy alone is something we already talked about. We don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste energy either. Okay. Not trying to waste energy in 2021 and beyond. Like not trying to do that. And so she would have, had to backpedal and bring herself out of it. So like if somebody calls and be like, hey, I know I told you this, but it's actually this now. Here's the difference. So there could be that person to get that call and be like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Y'all just did this. And now all of a sudden you want to call me back with this. Or there's the person that remained humble, that stayed positive, and it's just like, oh, wow, okay, thanks. That's cool how that worked out. That's a difference, right? That's where we need to be. We need to be on the ladder tip. Like, that's the way to keep it in forward motion, because I'm going backwards if I go to be negative about it and keeping in mind of the things that, responsibilities and obligations that I have. Not helpful. And lastly, on my list of like different calls that I received just by Tuesday of this week was like a promotion, a huge promotion. So much so that even with that promotion, shout out to my sis, like, oh, that's crazy. All these people on here, like my family, like that's so crazy. My family. So in my close circle. And I'll touch on that in a second, but like she receives this promotion, has been, she's been humble and prayerful about just, moving forward, right? Onto her own, but even in the time being just, better coming, right? And when the fact that in her good news to me mentioned like, this will be good for it because I'll be positioned, to be better, like to get the experience and all that for my own that she's already planting the seed for. Oh my God. Like it be stuff like that that takes me like, yes, this is what we're doing. Like this is what we where we need to be. These are the good things that we need to be celebrating, even in the midst of. So, yes, it takes work, but I truly believe that God will extend, our hours, our minutes, our seconds, our days, our weeks, our months, our years. He will not make us feel like we're overworking ourselves if you are staying humble and remaining steadfast in the fact that I'm doing the work that's necessary to combat, the enemy, to combat, what's up against me as far as, holding up my shield. I'm kneeling and, I'm praying to God, I'm meditating, I'm taking care of myself. I'm doing the things that I have control of, as well as celebrating the good that comes, because I'm keeping an open mind that with all the work that I might be doing to combat the enemy, that there is still good happening right now. Just because you're combating the enemy and combating, your oppressor, okay, but the opposition is the word I was looking for, but oppressor came out first. But combating your opposition does not mean that positivity is not present. Ooh, that's good, okay? Let me say it again. Just because you are combating your opposition does not mean that positivity is not present. Okay, so there simultaneously you have to believe that, because that's how you know that good is in everything, and that's how you're able to understand and believe continuously that everything happens for a reason, because you'll be like, oh, I see the good in that. Okay, cool. Because immediately, like the one where she called in and told me about like the loss, right? Immediately I was just like, oh, okay, like God trying to move again in your life. That's it. Like. And I don't try to water anybody's feelings down, because I get it, right? But that's just it. That I'm excited to the fact that, I was saying before I move on to that, is that with all these people, me reflecting the fact that all these people are my very close circle, right? Who I call family, who I love dearly, who I cover in prayer often. Gotta be something coming for me, baby. So you have to believe that too. So that's how, when I was talking about like the promo for the show, when we know that we're not going back to normal, and we have to be realistic about it. We just talked about that, just the reality of, what is, right? And then, or what we are to do, and then what is, right? So again, the fact that just because you are, combating the opposition does not mean that positivity does not exist currently, right? So that's the reality of it, right? In order to advance us through this, and whatever this is for you personally, but at least just as a people, right? And we're going to have to do things, in new ways, learn new skills, and adapt to different outlooks. That's the goal. Okay. That's a goal. That's a working goal, though. That's not a goal that we just set up somewhere and be like, yeah, by, 12/31/21, this is what we want to have achieved. You have to do it now. So we should be able. So when I talk about celebrating, the testimonies in the meantime, we should be able to, have monthly check-ins or something to be able to say like, yeah, this is how we, work toward this goal and make this happen in order to work to the bigger picture and the bigger goal. Like we got work to do, y'all, meaning we have more life to live. So don't quit. Won't have time for it. Never quit. That's the best thing. I told y'all before that the best piece of advice I ever received, especially more recently, was, just don't quit. Just don't give up. Like it gets hard. Definitely gets tough. It gets scary. Sometimes it gets, trying, overwhelming, all of that. Do not quit though. Like that's the biggest thing. Right. And so I even, when we talk about like just celebrating, so of course that's everybody, right? So everybody else, I'm celebrating just other things. But when I think of the goodness of Jesus, you're a believer. You can never start off a sentence by when I think of and not finish it like that, right? But what I was originally going to say was when I think of just for myself and things that I want to celebrate, truthfully is that, so I spent the first Sunday of the year with my male best friend. I call my fave. Shout out to Joshy Toshi. That's my baby. I love him so much for so many different reasons. So many, y'all. And it just a time that, so we had text and we had like caught up and we were just like, hey, we need to link at some point. Because I don't believe I had seen him since his birthday in October. Okay. And let me tell you why I know that, because his birthday activities, and then I talked about one of the things I told y'all that we went on like the hike, and it was the picnic. It was like the coolest like birthday ever. Like, and we all turned 30 last year. It was amazing. And so I appreciated that. But I remember when we went on the hike, I talked about his water bottle. I was like, oh my God, it's so nice and all that. And I think like that following week or something, like he bought me a new water bottle. So I'm so corny, but I'm so pressed to introduce y'all to my new water bottle. Her name is Henrietta Nolak. Shout out to Henrietta Lex and her family. This is my water bottle. I love her so much. And she's only been in his house since he got it for me in October. That is not the only reason why I love him so much. But yeah, just because of who he is and what he represents in my life, right? And so, but so I spent my first Sunday like pitching, because we had set up like a best friend date. And it just worked out that it was like for that Sunday, and because it was like, oh yeah, we can like after church, and I'm just like, oh, you know what? And then my church is now, we're back on like virtual, so just like, you know, if y'all are in the building, like, you know, playing, and went with him to his church. It's a very progressive church, so that was good for me. It was like new to experience progressive church at that level, right? So just new experiences, and it we had to. I'll get into this at another date, on a, you know, at a later date, but when we experience something new, it does not mean that we're like jumping ship, right? Not to say that I think anybody's going to think that, but I even had to, check myself to make sure. I was like, no, just because, you go to visit churches and things like that doesn't mean that you fit to leave or anything like that. It doesn't mean, if anything, really, it should be experiencing something and wanting to take it back to, or, incorporate that to, the ministry that you serve and things like that, which is really what it did, and just gave me some ideas. But, it also, that when you experience something new and something different, it doesn't, like, you can appreciate it. It doesn't mean that you have to like it or love it to the point where, again, you want to jump ship, or that you need to have all of what they, have experienced. Because progressive, of course, is, forward motion, is ongoing, it's good, it's new, it's fresh. But I'll be honest, I'm that person likes like that homey, that homey feel of church. But I will admit that I'll definitely get into this, because the conversation he and I had of how the progressive church is so welcoming. We'll table that. But yeah, so we caught up, right? So we did that. He cooked brunch, baby. My baby can throw down. Okay. We caught up. Let me tell y'all real quick. I love ugly shoes. And when I tell you, gave me the fake Yeezys, the Yeezy slipper slides, I wanted them so bad. Y'all gotta ask my little sister. I wanted them so bad. She had them. I put them on every time I go to their house. And that water bottle and the sweater, I was amazed, like amazing. And so to close out, because when I was reflecting on myself of just what makes me happy, I've come to the conclusion that I think that I'm really happy with just being at home in a nightgown in the kitchen, grooming children, cutting nails, doing hair. My sister, not too long ago, she put me in a vulnerable place because I was like trying to joke and say that, trying to joke and like complain about it. But she was like, you love this. I do. I absolutely do. So I learned that that's what makes me happy, and I'm gonna just somehow make that happen some kind of way, in a good way. So I'm gonna be a businesswoman, but a stay-at-home mom. I don't know. We'll figure that out. All of that to say is that find the good in all of this, because it exists. Find it within yourself. So much so that when you realize that what you speak is so important, probably more important than even what you do, because you have to speak, you have to believe it, think it, and speak it first. Even when we talk about the ghetto, and when you're trying to call all this capital mess the ghetto, don't do that. They created the ghettos for us, and we made greatness out of the ghetto. That's the trailer park, okay? Watch what you speak. It ain't us. Until next week, I love you. I appreciate you. I acknowledge you. Peace.